Hey, beauties! Friday, here we are, episode 4. Can you believe it? Of Hbtv, Thoughts from My Garden series. Wow, crazy. Here we are. We are in the month of May, and it's flying by. I mean, Mother's Day is on Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to all you mamas in the house. And what I really want to do is I really want to focus on this month of May as setting the groundwork and the foundation for who we are and who we're going to be come June, when the quarantine is lifted and we are back out in the world. So one thing to do is to have clarity on who you want to be, how you want to show up, and how you want to live your life. And that clarity is the key component to knowing where you're going. So as an example, when you take a trip, you're very clear, you're flying out of SFO and you're flying to JFK, right? There's clarity as to where you're going. That way you can get there as quickly as possible. If you're on a road trip, you might not have much clarity because you're like really putting in the adventure part of it, where it's like, who knows, we'll end up wherever we end up at whatever time, and kind of move more or less with the flow of what's happening. But when we are in a time of transition and a time of recalibration and a time of re-entering, we really want to be clear about where we're going, what's happening, and who we are along that journey. So we're going to talk about intention and clarity today. And if you're in the Light Up Your Life series on Instagram, you got a little dose of that on Tuesday. So basically, what we're talking about is getting really clear on how you want to feel. So what I do is I take the calendar month, and every month I have 3 new words on how I want to feel that month. And then I set up my entire day and my evening so that I can actually embody those words, so that I can actually live with those words. There's intention behind those words, and then there's intention behind my actions so that I can actually reach that goal of becoming and embodying those words. So what I want you to do is I want you to write down a few words of how you want to feel and how you want to live your life, how you want to feel and move throughout your day. So you write down those words, and then you circle the 3 that really stick out for you. And so mine for the month of May are very simple. I want to feel energized, right? This COVID-19 action can really kind of take us down a deep, dark hole where we feel depressed, we feel lethargic, we feel fatigued, we don't feel like producing much, whereas I want to have the opposite of that. So I want to feel really energized. I also want to feel very healthy. So I want to make sure that I'm putting foods in my body that mimic how I feel. And then lastly, I want to feel useful, and I want to feel of service. So that's what these calls are, is me being useful, me giving out as much as I can to my community and to my people, and feeling really good about that. So those are my 3 words that really stuck out for me for the month of May. So that's the clarity. I want to feel energized, I want to feel healthy, and I want to feel useful. So then what we do is we set up the intention so that we can embody those 3 words and whatever those words are for you. So what I do is when I wake up in the morning, I look at those words. I have them written down on my journal. I look at those words, I meditate on those words, and I infuse my body of those words. So it's almost like a mantra that I repeat throughout my morning after my meditation of energized, healthy, useful, energized, healthy, useful, energized, healthy, useful, energized, healthy, useful. And you can see how the rhythm just starts to come, and then I just start to move with it. And now I'm making a mind-body connection, right? So that I'm setting myself up with the intention to live my day being energetic, feeling healthy, and being of service and being useful to my family, my community, and anybody else who comes into my sphere. So we really want that mind-body connection kind of first thing in the morning, because that sets the intention to actually live those words. And then what we do is we set it up, we live those words. So throughout the day, as I'm making choices for myself, as you're making choices for yourself, you want to make sure that those choices are aligned with those 3 words. So for instance, I knew I was going to do this call I need to have a little bit in my backyard, right? I have a big meeting that I'm having a little later today. I'm going to put on my headphones. I'm going to dance it out so that I'm like primed and I'm energized for that call. I feed and infuse my body full of healthy food all day, every day. I rarely eat the junk. I definitely don't eat very many sweets. Kids made cookies last night, and I did have a little fight with the cookies. But I make sure that I fortify my body and my energy force, my life force, with healthy, nutritious, primarily vegetarian meals, and so that I have the nutrition to feel healthy and then useful. Once again, coming back, I do this. I'm doing this HBTV series, right? I'm sending out blog posts. I'm making sure that my content that I create on Instagram is of value for whoever's reading it. So I'm making sure that I'm useful. There's a timer that goes off on my phone a couple times a day with just those 3 words. A simple reminder all month long that I want to feel energized, that I want to feel healthy, and that I want to feel useful. So that intention is there. And now I'm watering the seeds of the intention by taking action and living those words. And then lastly, what I do is I just simply reflect at the end of the day. Before I go to bed, I bust out my journal. It takes me 5 minutes. And I simply write down the ways in which I was energized, the ways in which I was healthy, and the ways in which I was useful. And then I take it a step further by setting up the tone for how I'm going to be those 3 words the next day. So I have a little bit of a plan, a little bit of a roadmap, so that I can, again, embody, I can calibrate to those words, I can live those words. They're in my house, they're in my mind, they're in my vision. I'm manifesting them as I move throughout my day, and I'm creating an environment so that I am actually those words. Because sometimes it takes work and it takes effort to become things. Definitely takes work and effort to change. Topic of today is like, let's set the intention and the environment so that we can be who we want to be. And it's just so simple. It's just 3 little words that you focus on for the entire month. And those 3 words become who you are. And they infuse your body and your energetic sphere and your auric field with those words, and you start to fall in love with those words. I mean, you can even go as far as, which I've done in the past, of framing those words in a beautiful frame and putting them in your bathroom, putting them on your altar, and putting them wherever it is that you will see them, so that again, you start to have a relationship with those words, and then you become those words. So I really hope that that is helpful for you. The month of May is really an important month, probably the most important month that you're going to have for 2020. It is setting the tone for who you are going to be when quarantine is over. So take advantage. Stop the draining behavior that's not putting you in any direction of embodiment or empowerment or putting you in a sphere to be better and to feel better. Stop that behavior and really focus on how you want to feel, and then start putting the actions to feel that way. Again, I hope that's helpful. Thank you so much for joining me. It's such a pleasure to serve and to be useful and to share the ways in which I keep my life super bright. Thank you so very much for being here. It's a pleasure. Have a great, great weekend and a wonderful Mother's Day. Love you.